On this week's video, we're off into the pub. Hi, I'm Sean. Welcome to the shed. Follow me down the drive. Today on Sean in the Shed, I'm going to be making these Beer Keg Seat Toppers. They're a simple idea. Just makes use of the old beer kegs that sat in the garden of my local micropub. There's quite a few that sit out there waiting to be collected. So instead of purchasing lots more seating for the summer months, these can be stored in a cupboard and brought out as and when required. They're nice and comfy as well. Stick around today and watch how I made it.
The wooden structure of the seat toppers is going to be made out of 3/4 inch MDF. I ripped these down to roughly about 15 inch squares because I'm going to be making discs which are approximately 15 inches in diameter.
And following the jig idea from Matt at Badger Workshop, I've got a little L-shaped bracket on the back which fits perfectly square with the edge of the actual table. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this forward just to get the first cut line. I can make marks on here for different sizes, so I can do different radiuses of circle. So the one I'm going to do today is a 15 inch circle, so I'll be putting a marking around here for 7.5 inches. I'll make sure that I connect the piece of wood to that using either a screw through the centre of the piece or through a nail through the back. I'm going to stick with a screw because the piece of work I'm working on isn't actually visible, because it's, with it being a seat, the centre of the piece will be hidden and the underneath will be hidden as well. So I can screw through the piece I'm going to be working on and put it straight where I need to here, and I can then pivot 360 degrees and cut out a lovely circle. He says fingers crossed.
Using the same process as cutting the circle, I'm making a bead by stepping the pivot point in 1/2 inch after the initial cut. This leaves me with like 1/2 inch bead to actually attach underneath the seat topper.
With the disc that I cut and the bead that I cut separately, I've attached one to the other with 3 simple screws. This is just a test fit. The idea is, I'm not going to glue this on here, I'm just going to have it held on with screws because I want this to be detachable. Because the idea is, this top piece will get upholstered, and it means the material on top can be taken off and reapplied as and when required. But obviously that's going to be underneath, you're going to have all the staples and things that hold the upholstery in place. So the ridge that goes around the side is going to be detachable. There's going to be another piece that goes here, which is the 2 pieces which will hold it on top of the beer keg. I'm now going to quickly round over these edges just so knock the sharpness off them, ready for the upholstery to go on. Once I've knocked them off, I'm going to paint the whole thing with some exterior paint because it's going to be in the garden of the bar. I've got a lovely slate grey exterior paint I'm going to put on it. Once that's done, it's inside. I'm going to play with the sewing machine. I really don't want to do that. I don't know why. I'm really nervous about playing with the sewing machine, especially on camera. So I might take a while painting these, I don't know yet. How many coats can you apply before it gets too much? Talk about getting out of your comfort zone. So paint, round over, paint, sewing machine. If Bob can do it, I can do it. That's it, man.
some leftover paint from the skateboard video, I'm giving the seat toppers a couple of coats of slate grey exterior paint.
You know, when there's a little bit of a project you don't want to do and you're trying to keep away from it. Well, because of that, and I didn't want to do some of the upholstery that I planned on doing, I kept trying to think of ways to avoid it. I know there is a little bit of upholstery needed. You know, I'm going to have to wrap the material around the top of the cushion and tack it underneath the actual the seat disc. But I needed to put like a an inch to half-inch bead around the outside of the cushion to pad it out a little bit. And I was thinking of making like a long material sausage, filling it with beanbag beans or contents of old teddy bears. Sorry children, I was going to take your teddy bears and take them apart. I decided I didn't want to. I didn't want to sit there running things through the sewing machine. It's been over 30 years since I've used a sewing machine. I was trying to think of how can I get a quarter round bead all the way around the cushion, around the foam disc, so there isn't such a drop from the edge of the disc to the seat itself. So I just needed that chamfer basically. And then I thought, pool noodles. I know a certain person that has made things out of pool noodles before. He made a kid-friendly axe throwing system. So yeah, I'm going to have some fun putting these through the bandsaw now. I'm going to rip them down into quarters. And then I need to calculate the length or the circumference of the circle, so I'll work out how long the noodle needs to be. And then I can cut it down. And the idea is I can shave a little bit off on the back of the actual noodle to help it wrap around. Because in its full tension at the moment, because it's a cylinder, it's very strong and bending it around a disc won't work. But as soon as I take it down to quarters, that's going to be a lot bendier, and then I shave a little bit off, it'll be a lot easier to manipulate. So the bandsaw again.
Is 6 centimeters or just short 2.5 inches, so for good for 3 centimeters.
So what I need to do now is on the pool noodle, quarter round that I've cut, I need to cut V shapes into it. So this allows it to bend around in a circle a lot easier. So I'll cut these out now on the bandsaw. I'm not going to mathematically size these, I'm just going to guesstimate them. They're going to be hidden away. So every period on here, roughly about the same distance. I could probably measure this and be accurate as anything, but it's going to be hidden. As long as it goes round the topper. No, before you say it, I'm not wearing my pyjamas in the workshop. It's one of my old work shirts. I don't tend to wear these very often, plus it's a little bit snug on the old larger frame these days. So what I'm going to use, instead of going out and buying some material to cover these cushion tops with, I'm going to use a couple of my old shirts, mainly this one to start with. So it's a nice pink striped toothpastey mint thing. I've never had good fashion taste, or fashion sense I should say. So I'm going to take this off, I'm going to cut it up, I'm going to wrap the cushion with it. So we're talking my new lithium ion hot glue gun. I say mine, I bought it the other half about 8-9 months ago, and it's still been in the drawer. So warms up very quick. The only problem is, will it hold, because we're out in the cold shed. So I've got some marks on here for where this needs to go. It's like I've practiced it, because that's straight in the marks. So now I just need to weight it down for 5 minutes. So this has been in place for a good few minutes. So the next piece we need to do is add the pool noodle around the outside, which is going to form the step down from the centre of the actual cushion. It's not a bad guess really, is it? So I bet I can't repeat it on the others. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach the first piece. I'm going to hold that in place, let that go off. Once it's gone off, we will start winding it round. It's alright. So that's how I made this Beer Keg Seat Topper. If you want to stick around and watch the other videos I've got, there's usually a playlist in the top corner. Down the bottom corner there's a subscribe button to watch more of my videos and subscribe to my channel. I'll be back in about a week's time with the next video. Might be more beer related stuff next week, who knows. Can I have a pint please, Gary? See you next time. That's it. For those of a certain age, it's not R2D2. It's my friend Vincent from Black Hole. Say hello, Vincent.
I don't mean to sound superior, but I hate the company of robots.